bit of a hit rate, and that is up against Horror Esports. It's just sad news for the Purple Hearts. They're not really getting much in return, but we'll have to see if they would be able to still form up an exchange because RQ is currently boxed into these compounds.
Oh, not exactly sure what is happening with horror esports, but the aggression isn't just there. I've been looking for some consistency, but horror esports might not be in the mood. I don't know, to pick up the pace, or perhaps they haven't found the rhythm just yet. But here's a chance for them to prove themselves yet again versus RQ. They've got Sky right here doing a massive spray up against Genfos, but Genfos was able to recuperate from that exchange. Jiggle right now is the one pretty close with RQ. Now he's trying to jiggle his way 2v1 situation. Who is going to be winning the fight? Is it going to be Jiggle or is it going to be RQ?
Just look at how aggressive they're playing this one now. Jiggle with the jump shot. Actually, he finds the connection once again, but he's being brought down pretty low. Got to go in for the reload. Now he's pretty much bunched inside. And just like that, the swings over again. Horror Esports. They're turning the taunts around. But once again, on the outskirts, this is the rival of BTR. Knocking down one of his teammates. And now only down to Jiggle. They go in for the rescue. And it's going to be Nugget that tries to actually rescue him, but no fear. He's going to get the angles right, and this is a perfect chance for them to shut down RRQ.
Okay, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Horror Esports stepping onto the pedal and just making things happen for them. You know, the aggression, we've been looking for that one since the get-go. Day number one wasn't really, exactly a good run for them, but perhaps, the tide can change for day number two. So hopefully they get to the latter stages of this round just to make sure that they get enough points. But okay, BTR, come on. Horror Esports, just as we were pricing them, got slaughtered down the way, courtesy of the Bigatron.
Yeah, last I checked, Coach Ken is actually in this matchup, so of course, kudos to him. He called the shots, and things are looking really well. They managed to eventually wipe away the weakened side of Horror Esports. While this fight have yet to be settled with this three-way warfare, we see RW taking the top cut of the map. This Vampire Esports looking for that push. Not too sure if they're going to check every single nuke and credit, but long as it's been solved out, and just like that, it's going to be answered back. Zook, he can only do so much, so that's going to be Weibo Gaming with another early exit. He's falling right in, and he hits directly onto Schweppes.
Hey, that was a great execution coming from Vampires when they went up against Weibo Gaming, but unfortunately, Rogue Warriors was able to pick up their location, and now they're retaliating over Vampire Esports. But then again, Vampire was able to pull through, great reflex, great way to defend themselves as well, shows experience, and of course, shows great communication within the team, hence winning the fight and putting up 6 elimination points under their name. 11 teams remaining, ladies and gents, and you can see over to the right side here, we've got a lot of teams on rotation, teams that dropped around south area and central location of Miramar. But again, this is the biggest map that we have in the competitive scene right now, and the circle isn't small for now. So again, we've got a lot of places to hide in.
True enough, and it's going to take a while. Meanwhile, you can see over in the center of the map already is being occupied by A7 BTR. Non-shim red fours, they don't really have to rotate too far. So it's going to be pretty similar as to how our very first match has been played out. Where we're definitely hoping to see if there's going to be any form of a closure coming in from either side of the teams. Where a lot of these teams who are inside Picado, they've been pretty much bunched up. And once more, we do expect them to commit to that fight where
I don't think BDR is going to do just that. And now the circle has shifted once again, this time favoring BTR. So there's a lot of teams that will be coming from the west side and also the south side. But who will be fighting up against each other? That is a big question just yet. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Actually, I think that it does favor LGD a little bit more. Take a look at the other region just across the street. They are actually securing a lot more of the region as compared to BTR, who needs to face off against numerous teams who are going to make that climb upwards. So it's looking a little bit tough as maybe they try to book a spot, but the Millie, as they move forward, is way V plus Kiev that will try to look to puncture them. And speaking of which, they do get the trade out there in return. So good work coming in from Vampire Esports to be able to hold down the line.
Okay. Oh, I mean, I think for BTR, right? They do have that high ground advantage, though. So that's one point up against their arsenal. Yes, they're going to be facing off with quite a number of teams here, but Alpha 7 will definitely be busy taking care of business up against Thunder Talk Gaming. And I think that would be the only time that they can focus on a BTR, not if Vampire Esports will be entering from the southwest side as well. So big potential right there to have an altercation with Alpha 7. But then again, it all boils down on how good these teams are at executing all of their plans. I mean, planning is just 50%, and the other 50% is the execution.
Indeed, and look at the current execution, Thunder Talk Gaming. They need to brute force their way out of this one as they're just by the outskirts, also being punched in by the team over the spine of the hill. This is not looking all too clear cut as we are looking at a big fight ruptured as Vampire Esports tries to push right through. They're being held right back, but these are dropping it. Continue. He's trying to survive, but not quite enough. Once again, it's Vampire Esports doing the damage, but that is going to be a streak of kills to be broken out. There are 13 points. Make that 14 as the Massive Lees close it out at a big number, just like how Alpha 7 did in the round of rank.
Vampires popping off. 14 before they exited the game. Now Alpha 7 again just anticipated the attack up against Thunder Talk Gaming. Jay's a little bit low on the HP here, so King is trying to buy some time for his teammate to reset. But here comes LGD Gaming now. M2 doing a massive spray up against the plus Kia. But oh, chips! What a brutal shot to the face! And that puts down the rest of LGD, which brings us out just 5 teams remaining. Contra.
Yeah, it's just so quick as we are already looking into all these teams fighting for that space up on the hillside. The nades are primed right through. It's going to be pretty close as we see the rest of Carrillo and A7 tries to actually trade right back, unallowing Sing to actually push right through. It's just going to be straightforward angles for A7 to work with.
Well, man, Carrillo is still down at the moment. Now, Squash Boone needs to keep Snowix at bay, but Snowix is kind of going back and forth. He does have the low ground in this situation, but then again, A7 is trying to do a reset here, so they're a little bit disoriented. Rivo trying to find a good vantage point to try and take down Snowix, but let's see if Snowix can actually put down at least one player from A7. Now, he was able to do a lot of damage, but not enough because it was a 2v1, and Snowix just missed that opportunity to serve that revenge up against Alpha 7.
Now it's BTR, A7, and D plus Kia. Can I have my vote back for Alpha 7? Because I was told that they were not in this round. But, of course, I'll be happy for any of these guys. And a big bounce back performance coming in from BTR, where even the likes of D plus Kia was sort of absent coming in from the other portion of the matches being played out. BTR, they've been holding over on the high ground for a very long time. Now sees a little bit more of that involvement against a very formidable side as Mafioso always looks super sharp on the long range approach, but the blue zone's already chipping some of his health bars, so he got to be very mindful of that.
Okay, currently this is a Mexican standoff happening because we still have 3 more teams here. Alpha 7, they do have a choice whether to go up against D plus Kia or go up against Bigatron, but technically there's no pressure just yet for teams to actually push forward. But then again, D plus Kia found an opening and took down Mafioso from that spray, which is of course an effective attack coming from D plus Kia, and puts Alpha 7 in a world of trouble at the moment.
It definitely is. D plus Kia, they're just hoping to actually hold firm onto that region. Also does actually get the cash onto Mafioso, and Alpha 7 with one member out there just trying to see if they could just find any form of angles to work with. Also just primes in the grenade, slowly tagging onto Revo. So they got to also fall back for a little bit. So this is where it gets really awkward, right? Where you have that other corner of the street, which is kind of unreachable we will see the rest of BTR to be able to go in for that form of expansion. Meanwhile, these two teams are just slowly tagging upon each other.
Honestly, BTR already has this one in the bag. All they need to do is just play their cards right and make a good, series of decisions here. Because I can see that Alpha 7 will definitely be, challenging up the boards of D plus Kia. For now, also is the one pretty close to Alpha 7, getting all the information the team needs. But yeah, we'll just have to wait until the circle shrinks again, perhaps, but not if Vian finds an opening again. And now Alpha 7 Squash is down on the ground here, and with the amount of pressure that they have feeling right now coming from D plus Kia, a pickup can be tricky here.
Very, very tricky, if you ask me. As you can see, the pursuit is coming right through. D plus Kia wants to actually call the entire party to chime in on this one, where Chips pushing right through. It's all down to Carrillo on that UMP as he's getting his attention span pulled left, right, center. Where exactly will he actually answer back? And there we go. Also lands the blow, but it's still going to be him going 1-for-1. Carrillo holding them down. And D plus Kia shuts them out. Now it's the entire BTR versus Oso.
All right, here we go, ladies and gents. D plus Kia showing us the reason why they're the champions of the PMPS. Currently, D plus Kia is doing a reset, prepping themselves up to go up against a BTR. This is the last two teams fighting for the winner chicken dinner. Oh man, we've been throwing nades. We can see a lot of nades actually being thrown by BTR as well. Also is a little bit low on the HP here, but Voxy already trying to make a move here, going off angle, but Chiefs was able to get a whiff of that one, but Voxy stepping back. Here comes another nade, and also got knocked down on the ground hard.
Yeah, it's all down to one, so it's all about buying time and space. BTR, they're looking to shut this one down, or can there be a miracle coming out of that D plus Kia? This is going to be a tough one.
Miracle.
And speaking of which, two members of BTR is not with that grenade, the miracle like you called it.
Oh man, my head is already aching. The miracle that we have been looking for just happened on the screen. So I guess if you believe it, it will definitely happen. But here comes the next stage. BTR trying to recuperate, trying to get a whiff of where Chips is exactly. But this is a one-man show right now coming from D plus Kia.
It definitely is, but so far the fight is being very well managed. Voxy now brings in the remember down. So like you said, 1 versus 3. Can this be the turning point here being brought to light from Fabian on that low ground, just trying to cut through the streets? BTR trying to be a little bit more composed. Voxy now pushing right through. They should be able to sniff this one out just right behind the tree. Is he gonna be able to pull it out? Bro, this could be it. Ring Rosie, but BTR will have this one in the bag. And once again, Prod has outdone us once more.
Oh my goodness, but D plus Kia certainly did not make it easy for Megatron